Well, good morning, beloved of God. I'm not Doug. I'm looking at the wrong thing, so I'll shift my attention over right where you are at this moment. The light of the Spirit shines through you. Infinitely loved by God, you are the light of the world. Doug, and I welcome you to Unity Spiritual Center of Waco this morning. If you haven't already done so, this would be a good time to take your cell phones and put them into a silent mode. And please be able and join in our congregational singing.
Hark the herald angels sing, Christ is born, on earth we bring. Peace on earth and mercy on earth, all God's children reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph from the skies. With hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, Christ is born, our joy we bring. Everything's off back there. Something's amok. I guess we're doing that one. Turn it off. Okay. Turning it. It's still. Nope.
I'm up. That's on. So let us say our opening statement together. It's in the bulletin and on the screen, I presume. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. We are a beacon of love and light for those who need this spiritual home right now. And our vision, mission, and unity principle for today, beginning with our vision to awaken an awareness of spirit in our lives through the practice of timeless spiritual teachings. Our mission, raise consciousness, transform lives, heal the planet, one person at a time, beginning with me. And we have our five principles, which are universal principles taught by unity, which offer foundational guidance for living abundantly and staying in tune with our own divine nature. And today is together. It is not enough to understand spiritual teachings. We must apply our learning to all areas of life, incorporating them into our thoughts, words, and actions. All right. Time for the daily word.
The daily word, December 8th, is peace. I begin the second week of Advent by affirming peace for myself and all beings, letting the peace of God flow through me. Peaceful living does not mean isolation from noise or turmoil. It means calm even in the middle of the hubbub. At this time of year, when so many seem so busy and rushed, I rely on the peace of God that resides within to promote the calm in my home, in my life, and in the world. Prayer helps me stay centered, serene, and relaxed so I can be in peace. Holding thoughts of tranquility and affirming peace in every heart, I move through this day in Advent season, affirming kindness and compassion. The gift of peace as I let it flow from my heart like ripples on a lake, sustaining each circles of tranquility and goodwill. And from Romans chapter 15, verse 33, the God of peace be with all of you. Our affirmation today, I'll say it and we'll all say it together. I give the gift of peace. I give the gift of peace.
Time in our service when we have an when we come together to greet one another, to give a hug, fist bump, just say hi, or whatever's appropriate to you. And this would be the time we do that. So let's all join together. Almost forgot people to join us out there through the ethers. And you are an important part of this service. And know that you're with us in heart and mind. So let's do that now. Thank you.
No.
she's not, you're gonna be a fun day, I can tell.
You sure? Hello. Okay, the 4 Sundays before Christmas are referred to as Advent. In Unity, we mark awareness of our awakening to the Christ within each of us. Traditionally, an Advent wreath is present in many churches. Of the wreath reminds God has no beginning and no end. The green of the wreath speaks of hope we have, hope of newness, renewal, and an eternal. Lights of the candles remind us that Jesus is the light of the world, and that we are called to be a light of the world as we reflect the light of God's grace to others. In unity, we recognize the Christ within and as us. Each of the outer candles has a theme which will be explained as it is lighted. One new candle each week of Advent. The center candle is white and is called the Christ candle. It is not lighted until the first candle lighted last week is purple, symbolizing faith and hope. It is also purple and represents peace. By the tender mercy of our God, the dawn from on high will to guide our feet into the way of peace. From Luke chapter 1, verse 7, 8, 7, 9.
All right. For our second congregational, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. It's a good thing it's a slow song. Okay, let's see here. Intro. All right, what key are we in? Okay. Oh, little
Good morning. I'm Reverend Don. It's a pleasure to welcome each of you to Unity Spiritual Center today. Together we affirm and celebrate our unity, oneness with each other, oneness in God, and our oneness with all that is. Your presence is essential. For each of us is a unique aspect of the energy that it expresses as Unity Spiritual Center today, right here and right now. And know that no one is here by accident or coincidence. Unity is a new thought denomination, yet new is nothing new to the world. It is in reality a synthesis of the greatest spiritual concepts from the minds and spirits of humankind across the ages. In Unity, we believe that all people are created with sacred worth, regardless of culture, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or creed. And we know that neither God nor leaves anyone out. So let's open this always with prayer. Infinite presence, we come together to honor your presence today. We come together in this special day, right before, well, in the beginning of the holiday season. We do this acknowledging your presence, your light within each of us. We come together at this time of year to celebrate the birth of Jesus, our wayshower, our teacher, example. And during this, we celebrate your presence. We especially celebrate today, this week, winter arriving, making many of us happy to have the cool weather. Some of us would rather have it warm, myself included. But we see this as a time of renewal. As the earth is going into a cycle of rest, a time of renewal, we use this within ourselves to allow your presence to us, to help us learn about love. As we learn about life, we look around and see your presence, especially this time of day. Morning, a time of rebirth, renewal. And we say thank you, God, for being with us always. When the disciples asked how should they pray, Jesus gave them the Lord's Prayer we say together now, as translated from the Aramaic language that Jesus spoke. Together? I could. Is that better? All right, together. I need a little louder. Infinite presence. Together. Infinite presence, which is everywhere. Your name is sacred. Your kingdom is come. Will is throughout the earth, even as it is throughout the universe. Our needful bread from day to day, and you forgive our offenses as we forgive our offenders. And you let us, but you separate us from error, because yours are the kingdom, the power, and the song, and the praise from all ages, throughout all ages, sealed in faith, trust, and truth. Amen. Each of us is light in the love of God. Spiritual beings having a human experience. You are God's beloved, and we embrace you today. Oh. You stay away from those candles. I'm This is a time in our service when we have an opportunity to bless the children. We don't have any with us today, unfortunately, but let's rub our hands together, get nice warm energy going, and hold them up and say, children of the world, we love you, we bless you, and we behold the Christ in you.
The ability to play music again on speakers, so we'll see. And it sounds like my mic's working okay, so we're gonna just steam ahead as normal, huh? And if it doesn't, you know how that might go. So. But we'll see. So the sing today is once again not a Christmas song. I don't know. I feel like at the December 8th, it feels just a little too early to make everything Christmassy. But the title of today's talk is "Peace. It's an Inside Job," and you know that makes sense. You know when there's a painting or something out there that is, and I don't know who it's by, but I think of this often, and it is, I think it's entitled Peace, and the painting depicts just, I think it's like this like crazy waterfall, just psh, 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 and winds and storms and things, but and it's off the side of a mountain, and there is this tiny little bird's nest on that mountain, and a bird taking residence in it, just completely calm in this. And that's because they are not reacting to the outside of everything. They are simply at home in themselves. And so when I think of being an inside job, of course that starts in here. That's where everything really does start. And so the song that I've always loved is by Sue Riley, and it's called Inside. And it doesn't particularly specifically say everything that this song is mentioning, to me, is part of that inner peace. So I hope you enjoy it. Fingers crossed. There we go. You turn it up. You go to the river to find the flow. You go to the ocean to find the deep below. You go to the mountains to find the heights. Go to the brightest star to find the sunlight. But where do you go to find your breathing? Where do you go to find your pride? Where do you go to find believing inside? You go to your family to find your past. You go to your love to find romance. You go to the music to find peace. You go to the children to find innocence. Where do you go to find your feelings? Where do you go to find guide? Where do you go to find your healing? Inside. The best part of this whole affair, it's not out here, it's in there. And where do you go to find your feelings? Where do you go to find your void? Where do you go to find your healing? Inside.
Am I working? Hopefully, y'all can hear me, I think. Peace. Peace is something with where will you find peace amid chaos? Chaos within the world, chaos within our church service, within here. We always have peace within us. Sometimes we're moved out of our comfort zone, peace. But if we just let go of what's holding us away from it, even amid all the chaos, it's always. And that's our talk today, peace and inside job. We're going to look at peace in 3 different ways. Well, probably more than that. Peace for some, well, it can be many different ways. Some of them say peace, well, it's a piece of pie. Say apple pie with nice warm, with a scoop of ice cream beside it. And some would say, for to sit and think of the taste of that pie with the ice cream, and how good it's going to be, to let go of everything else and think about that pie, which is good for a moment. It doesn't last a long time. But we find peace where we can find it. For me, many times when I go to meditate, I project myself to my ideal place of relaxation. For me, it's the mountains. For many people, it might be sitting on a beach, just listening to the waves roll in and that noise, and maybe a sea flying by, enjoying the sound and the blend and everything around. For me, when I was a child, there was a special place we went that I always remember. It was up the mountain. And on the edges of the valley, you had the trees and some bushes. And I could sit there at the edge by one of the trees and look out in the middle of it. And it had the wild grasses and wild flowers growing. And I could look out and I could see a few bees buzzing around, going from flower to flower. Hear the birds singing, and off over to the side there was a grove of aspen trees, and you got the tinkling when the leaves just kind of rattled with the breeze. And I could just sit there and just feel the atmosphere. The sun was shining, and I had the warmth of the sun shining on me. But I had a mountain breeze, just a light breeze, that cool air blowing across me, to kind of counterbalance the warmth of the sun. Just bringing harmony and balance to everything around me. That's where I find peace in this physical sense. Each of you probably has your own sense. It might be sitting in a chair. It might be time just spending with your family. Something brings you an inner feeling. That's what we all want, what we're all. So we're going to look at it today, the profound silence between heartbeats, where peace resides not as an absence of conflict, but as a presence of understanding. Peace is not a destination, but a journey through the infinite landscapes of consciousness. We are interconnected vibrations in the grand symphony of thoughts. Each thought a ripple transforming the universal membrane. Peace emerges when we recognize that separation is an illusion, that your suffering is my suffering, your joy is my own resonance. Transcend boundaries of ego, which construct walls of division. Peace is the dissolution of these artificial constructs, the radical act of seeing the divine essence of every being. It is compassion without condition, love without reservation. In the quantum realm of potential, peace is not passive surrender, but active harmony. It is a contagious to respond to violence with understanding, hatred with empathy. Each moment of mindful presence is a sacred ceremony of healing. Let us be practitioners of inner stillness, where conflict cannot take root. Let our breath be a bridge between the turbulent external world and the serene internal universe. Hoped for. It is embodied. To awaken to the truth, you are not separate from peace. You are peace, experiencing it through the miracle of consciousness. In the vast tapestry of existence, peace is not merely an absence of conflict, but rather the presence of something that far more profound. A harmonious resonance with the fundamental nature of being itself. Today, let us contemplate peace, not as a distant ideal, but as the very fabric from which reality is woven. Consider, if you will, the quantum fields, the mysterious dance of particles and waves that underpins all of existence or creation. In its natural state, it exists in perfect equilibrium. Each particle knowing its place in the cosmic choreography. When we speak of peace, are we not speaking of achieving a similar state of equilibrium within our own consciousness, within the consciousness of mankind? Quantum mechanics, they say if you have an effect on the atoms over here, at a great distance, it's going to affect how the atoms over there operate also. It's the same with us. We grow when we learn, when we experience peace. It doesn't just raise us, it raises up mankind. We're all in this, we're all connected. And as one of us grows, we all start raising our consciousness. The ancient mystics understood that the universe at its most fundamental level is not a collection of separate objects, but rather a unified field of interconnected events. When we perceive ourselves as separate from this field, we create the very conditions for discord. Our suffering arises from the illusion of separation from each other and from our own true nature or spirit. But what is peace, really? It is not passive acceptance, nor is it a static state. True peace is dynamic, alive, and eternally creating itself anew. Like a river that appears still on the surface, yet moves with great power and strength underneath. Peace is both stillness and movement, both silence and song. In our modern world, we often seek peace through external means, through negotiations, treaties, agreements. While these are necessary, they address only the surface of our existence. Real, lasting peace must emerge from a deeper understanding of our spiritual nature. When we recognize that we are not separate from the universe, but are the universe experiencing itself in human form, the very foundation of conflict begins to dissolve. Think of, you've heard us bring this up many times. Think of the ocean and each wave that appears to be distinct, yet inseparable from the whole. In the same way, our individual consciousness is like a wave in the infinite ocean of consciousness. The conflicts we experience arise when we forget our true nature as the ocean and identify solely with the temporary form of the wave. This understanding has practical implications in our daily lives. When we realize hurting another is literally hurting ourselves. Not in the same, in some poetic sense, but in the actual metaphysical structure of reality. We naturally align our actions with the harmony of existence. Peace becomes not something we do, but something we are. The quantum field responds to observation and intention. Similarly, peace manifests when we hold in our consciousness with unwavering attention. I see the observer of quantum mechanics. The very act of contemplating peace begins to bring it into being. We are not observers, but active participants in the creation of reality. All of us. Therefore, the path to peace begins with this. We're not separate beings seeking connection. We are connected beings learning to overcome the illusion of separation. Every act of kindness, every moment of understanding, every instant of forgiveness is not just a step toward peace. It's peace itself manifesting through us. Let us approach peace not as a distant goal to be achieved, but as our natural state to be remembered. In the of these words, in the space between our thoughts, in the pause between our breath, there it is. The peace that passes understanding to be recognized. For in truth, peace is not something that needs to be created. It is the underlying reality of existence itself. Our task is not to create peace, but to remove the obstacles to its recognition. When we clear away the debris of our conditioned thinking, our false identifications, and our imagined separateness, peace reveals itself as the ever-present ground of being. And so, beloved, not seek peace. Let us be peace. Let us recognize it in the breathing of, the beating of, in the rhythm of our breath, and in the silence of our deepest meditation. For when we ourselves with the peaceful nature of existence itself, we become living embodiments of that which we. In this understanding lies the keys to personal transformation. As we embrace our true nature as expressions of consciousness, we naturally radiate peace into the world. Ripples in a pond, this recognition spreads outward, touching all it encounters with the truth of our fundamental unity. May we all awaken to this deeper understanding of peace, not as an abstract concept or a distant goal, but as the very essence of who and what we are. For in this awakening lies the hope of our world and the fulfillment of our highest potential as conscious beings in this beautiful cosmos we exist in. Peace is not the destination, it is the journey and the journeyer, the seeker and the sought, the question and the answer. In recognizing this, we find that what we have been searching for has been here all along, waiting patiently for us to remember our true nature. Peace begins not in the world outside, but in the sanctum of the Spirit within each of us. there is a divine spark, a timeless fragment of the infinite, of God, eternally at rest, perpetually in balance. It whispers to us in the stillness, urging us to remember who we truly are. Beings of light, born from the source, destined to return to that eternal unity. To find peace, we must release the illusion of separation. The ego tells us we are alone, divided from one another and from the divine. But metaphysically, this is but a shadow of the wall of truth. In reality, we are one breath, one energy, one creation, just as the ocean is one through its waves, though they may rise and fall. We are connected. We are one with Source. Each soul a wave in the vast, infinite sea of consciousness. And so, to cultivate peace, we must quiet the mind, which often vibrates with the chaos of desire and judgment. It becomes a mirror reflecting the divine order of the universe. In meditation, prayer, and stillness, we return to the center of our being, where peace resides always. But peace is not meant to be within. It is a light that seeks to radiate outward, touching everything it encounters. Just as the sun does not withhold its in any corner of the earth, we are called to share the peace within us with others. This is the great spiritual alchemy. Transforming conflict into compassion, misunderstanding into empathy, and division into unity. Remember, peace is not a passive state. It is an active force. It does not shy away from the storms of life, but moves through them with grace and strength. It is the quiet courage of love when love feels impossible. To forgive when forgiveness is out of reach, and to hold steady in the face of fear. As we walk this path of peace, let us be mindful that it is both a journey and a destination. Each step we take towards peace creates ripples that spread far beyond what we can see. Our thoughts, words, and actions are seeds. When we plant them in love, they bloom a garden of harmony that nourishes not only our spirits, but the world around us. Let us be the instruments of peace, the channels of the divine to work through. Let us speak words that heal, act in ways that unify, and think thoughts that uplift. For when we embody peace, we become the living of the infinite Spirit of God on earth, a testimony to the truth and love that reigns all that is and ever shall be well. In His rest in this truth, let us affirm together, I am peace, I am light, I am one with the divine, and I radiate harmony within the world. Amen. You are the light and the love of God. Peace is your normal state. Let us never forget that. Take that now into a time of meditation. Right where you are, just sit back and allow the seat to support you, to comfort you. And take a deep breath, slowly breathing in the light, the presence, the love of God. Just slowly allowing that energy to fill you. spreading out from your heart to every cell of your body, allowing it to bring you balance, to bring you peace. Slowly breathing in, breathing out. As you do this, with your eyes closed, just look up at 30 or 40 angle. This generally helps to bring you into a stage alpha, a lowering of your mind, allowing you to turn within to experience that presence of God. And slowly breathe it in, breathe it out. Just allowing your mind to center on peace. Maybe projecting yourself to a place of relaxation. Allow to see that peaceful surrounding that nurtures you, that fills you with light, and especially fills you with love. For that is our nature. We are expressions of love. And when we realize that, we feel that within our heart, within our body, within our mind. And we find peace. So let's just sit for a few moments in harmony, that peace, that joy. So as we come back this time to this place, as we slowly open our eyes and look around, let's do so with an understanding of truth. We each are an expression of love, an expression of peace. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
Wow, Don, you had me at quantum mechanics. I don't know if you were really all listening to that message and took it to heart, but there was a lot of real, honest truth in that message. It's powerful. That was powerful. Thank you, Don. Okay, we'll move on. This is the time in our service when we have to give back to the work of Spirit through our offerings and our tithes. We give in love and gratitude for our own prosperity in its many forms, which comes to us through God, instant, constant, and abundant source. Please come forward. I invite you to hold your offerings in your hand, share offertory blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive, and I am grateful.
Please come forward. And please join me as I bless this offering.
My gift goes forth on the wings of love, and it lands where it can heal and bless. It returns to me, multiplied 1,000-fold, as the universe says yes, yes, as the universe says yes.
Sure. You're going to have to stand real close so you can use my microphone.
I will enunciate.
Okay. Lost a few, but I guess they're getting up food.
Kitchen.
Yeah.
Can I make an announcement?
Sure.
As you probably remember, next week is our 12 Powers candle lighting service. And so we need 12 people, if we can find them, to light one of the candles.
May have to double up.
So if you're willing, see me in Fellowship Hall, and I'll give you a copy of what you're doing, and you'll see the order and so forth. And then we will get there at 9:30 next week so we can do a little rehearsal before, okay? So I'll be down there, and come see me, and I'll give you one of the.
Okay.
And I have a little thing to talk about.
And whoop, we go. Okay, our prosperity affirmation. We affirm the continued growth and prosperity of Unity Spiritual Center of Waco, and we are grateful. In our prayer for protection, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
I am the power of God.
And the presence of God watches over us.
I am the presence of God.
Wherever I am, God is, and all is well.
It's very pretty. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God, Creator, family, all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace be with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment peace.